Magandang araw mga mag-aaral. Ako si Teacher Eugene, ang iyong makakasama sa mga aralin sa MAPI 9. Dito lamang sa Kamapelya TV. Halina't ating alamin ang ating mga aralin. Ihanda ang sarili, module o activity sheet at syempre kasama ang ballpen at extra na papel.
Mga bata, halina't mag-aral tayo upang tayo ay lalo pang matuto maganda ng kayo. Halina at mag-aral na tayo. Ibukas ang ating isip, ipuon ang mga mata nyo, makinig ang mga tenga nyo dito. Dapat tayo ay lagi ng alerto. Mga bata, halina't mag-aral tayo upang tayo ay lalo pa matuto maganda ng kayo. Halina't mag-aral na tayo.
In your previous quarter, ating pinag-aralan ang tungkol sa musika ng mga kanluranin, music of the medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque periods. Tingnan nga natin kung iyo pang natatandaan ang ating huling aralin. Alin sa mga panahong ito ang tinutukoy ng bawat parirala? Number 1, it refers to the Middle Ages or Dark Ages. Tama, medieval period. Number 2, it means rebirth. Magaling, Renaissance. Number 3, it means pearl of irregular shape. Tumpak, it's Baroque period. Lupos nyo na ngang naunawaan ang tatlong mahalagang panahon sa mundo ng musika. Atin namang alamin kung ano ang tinutukoy ng palaisipan na ito. Ano kaya ang salitang mabubuo sa puzzle na ito? Hindi. Hindi pa rin. Magaling. Classical nga. So, ang ating pag-aaralan ngayon ay tungkol sa pangunahing musika o klasiko kung tawagin. Classical naman sa English. Ang classical period ay nagsimula noong taong 1750 hanggang 1820. Tinawag din ang panahong ito na Age of Reason. Bakit Age of Reason? It is because individuality and reason was being emphasized in this period over tradition. Kakaiba ito syempre sa nakalipas na mga panahong ating tinalakay. Lalong umunlad at umusbong ang kulturang musika sa panahong ito. Dahil karamihan sa mga tumatangkilik sa panahong ito ay ang mga maharlika o nakakaangat sa lipunan. Marami ring pagbabago ang naganap sa panahong ito, partikular na sa mga anyo ng musika at estilo ng mga kompositor. Ang instrumental music ng classical period ay nahahati sa tatlong ori. Kabilang narito ang tinatawag na sonata. Sonata is a multi-movement work for solo instrument. Sonata came from the word sonar, which means to make sound. Ang sonata ay angkop sa instrumentong gaya ng keyboard at violin bilang solo instrument. May tatlong ori ng galaw ng tunog meron ang sonata. First movement ay tinatawag na allegro. allegro o mabilis na galaw. Ang second movement ay tinatawag na andante o mabagal na galaw. Samantala ang pangatlong movement ay tinatawag na menuet. Katamtaman ang bilis o bagal ng tempo in 3/4 time signature. Nasabi naman na ang sonata allegro form ay ang pinakamahalagang anyo na nabuo sa panahon ng klasiko. Ang sonata allegro form ay may tatlong magkakaibang bahagi o pangkat. The second one is concerto. Concerto is a multi-movement work designed for an instrumental soloist and orchestra. It is a classical form of music intended primarily to emphasize the individuality of the solo instrument and to exhibit the virtuosity and interpretative abilities of the performer. The three movements of concerto are as follows. Una, the first movement ay sonata allegro form with expositions of the orchestra and soloist. So, mabilis ang unang movement ng concerto. Second movement has more ornamentation than the first movement. So, mabagal siya. Although, mabagal, dito meron kaganyakan kumpara doon sa unang bahagi. Then, the third movement ay finale, usually in rondo form. So, mabilis siya sa third movement. Rondo means a musical form with recurring theme, often found in the final movement of a sonata or a concerto. Symphony. Symphony is a multi-movement work for orchestra. The symphony is derived from the word sinfonia, which literally means a harmonious sounding together. Ang symphony naman, ang focus nito ay ang orkestra, kakaiba sa sonata at concerto. May apat na uri ng galaw, meron ang symphony. First movement, mabilis, o sonata allegro form. Then second movement, biglang babagal, which is gentle and lyrical. Sa pangatlong movement, katamtamang bagal o bilis naman, which uses a dance form like the menuet or scherzo. Then, sa pang-apat na movement ay biglang bibilis ulit, which is typical a rondo or sonata form. Vocal music of the classical period. Classical period's vocal includes the classical opera. Ang opera ay isang anyo ng sining na binubuo ng mga madramang pagganap sa entablado na nakalapat sa musika. It is a drama set to music where singers and musicians performed in a theatrical setting. Ang dalawang uri ng classical opera ay ang opera seria at ang opera buffa. Ang opera seria ay ang pinaka-prestihiyosong forma ng Italian opera. Usually implies heroic or tragic drama that employs mythological character which was inherited from the Baroque period. Example of opera seria is Idomeneo by Mozart. Sa kabilang banda, mula noong ika-18 siglo, ang opera buffa ay nangangahulugang clown opera from Italy, which made use of everyday characters and situations and typically employed spoken dialogues, lengthy arias that was spiced with side gags, naughty humor, and social satire. Ang example ng opera buffa ay ang Marriage of Figaro, Don Giovanni, and Magic Flute, composed also by Mozart. Now let us test what you have learned from our lesson today. Name the tune. I can relate to it. Okay, name the Filipino classic music or classic song or music which are related to the classical era. Describe each sample of Filipino classical songs or music. Each correct answer is equivalent to 1 point. Pin your answer on this box. For your reference, you may refer to the link below on the description of this video. That's time. Let's check how far you have understood our lesson. Identify the term being described. Write the letter that corresponds to your answer and write it on the space provided. Number 1, it is called the Age of Reason. A. Medieval, B. Renaissance, C. Baroque, D. Classical. Correct answer is Classical. Number 2, the term for Italian opera. A. Opera, B. Comic opera, C. Opera buffa, D. Opera seria. Correct answer is letter C. Opera buffa. Number 3, a section of the sonata allegro form where the themes are introduced. A. Exposition, B. Development, C. Recapitulation, D. Theme. Correct answer is letter A. Exposition. Number 4, the general texture of classical music. A. Monophonic, B. Homophonic, C. Heterophonic, D. Polyphonic. Correct answer is homophonic, letter B. Number 5, the term for serious opera. A. Opera, B. Comic opera, C. Opera buffa, D. Opera seria. Correct answer is letter D. Opera seria. Number 6, it repeats the themes as they emerge in the opening section. A. Exposition, B. Development, C. Recapitulation, D. Sonata. Correct answer is letter C. Recapitulation. For number 7 to 10, you are going to choose your answer from the given choices on the box. Write your answer on the space provided. Number 7, a musical work with different movements or an instrumental soloist and orchestra. That is concerto, letter C. Number 8, a musical composition designed to be played by the full orchestra. It's letter B. Symphony. Number 9, it is a multi-movement work for solo instrument. Okay, that is sonata, letter A. And number 10, the most important form that was developed during the classical era and usually the form of the first movement of a sonata or symphony. Correct answer is letter D, sonata allegro form. Kumusta ka mapilya? Lubos niyo bang naunawaan ang ating aralin ngayon? Nasagot niyo ba ng tama ang ating pagsusulit?
Sir, yes, sir!
Well, very good. Salamat sa iyong pakikinig. Hanggang sa muli. Again, this is Teacher Eugene. See you next time.